Hi, and welcome back to Armchair Pundits. Once again, you've got myself, James, we've got Daryl, we've got Leon. How you guys doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, all good.
not too bad, thanks, bro. Not too bad.
Well, it's been another not so great weekend for Liverpool, so we'll start there. It's what I expected, in honesty, because our record at Goodison is not great, but you always live in hope that we actually win there. But we drew, could have lost, so some would see it as a point gained, but others and many others are very upset as Liverpool fans that it's not clicking. Darwin's useless. Salah is should he be dropped? Wait
Well,
for Thiago. VVD is not the same guy.
That's typical fan reactions,
So
man. Overreactions, as per usual.
yeah, I don't know what Liverpool fans you're talking to, but that's a bit extreme, boy.
now there's a lot. Me personally, like I'm accepting that this season or the start of the season is not going to be great because I think everyone forgets that we played 64 games last season, every single game, and we didn't get a normal preseason. And what we did, we kind of rushed it. So I honestly think one, our players are really tired. People call it excuses, but it is what it is. I think our players are tired. Two, they're getting used to playing more or less a new system because everything that rolled around Mane and Salah up until now. Now Salah's now having to incorporate Diaz and Nunes. So it's just not clicking. It's not going right. Salah's not getting as many touches out wide, getting more touches in the box, but not in the right positions he was getting into before. Diaz is still trying to find his groove. Nunes is still looking a bit clumsy. I don't know. Looking at the game, I honestly didn't think Nunes would start. I
Nor did
mean,
I.
You said that.
Firmino had two good games, and I thought, you know what, cool, let him start, and then Nunes can come in off the bench and bring some energy to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah,
understand Klopp.
you
Yeah,
said
go
that
on.
last show. You said that last show, and I agreed with you last show. I didn't think he was going to get dropped, and I think maybe Klopp made a mistake there because
He made a few mistakes.
When
if
he came on,
Firmino
he
had
did
started,
he caused problems when
yeah,
he came on for me
he
now.
did. He did cause problems. So if he had started, it might have been different, and then I think Nunes would have had that more impact from the bench.
I think what is Nunes. Watching Nunes, it feels like he's so eager to do stuff. He's just not calm,
Mm.
and maybe he needs those games where he's comes to the bench for a little bit so that he can actually be eased into it. He just seems like all the pressure on his shoulders. I know obviously he got himself sent off, so he's probably thinking, you know what, I've got to do something. It's a derby. I can't be rolled up by these guys, and I have to score.
I also
But he's
think
just trying too hard.
I think that Klopp was testing his character by playing him, and it was a risk because what he was obviously trying to see is if he can really deal with that intense hostile pressure and teams knowing that he might have a hot streak, that
Mm,
they're going to test to see if he's got the metal to not bite any sort of provocation. But
mm.
like as you said, Firmino being in the form that he was in prior to the game,
It made
and the fact
sense.
that in other derbies he's been really good for Liverpool, I'm surprised that he didn't
It's
start.
more home games. It's
Mm.
more at Anfield. Like I said before, our record at Goodison is not good. But I don't know.
It seems
We
weird
need Thiago
because
back, man. We need Thiago back
yeah,
badly
you do.
because Klopp has changed his system to fit around Thiago. And when you don't have Thiago, you see what we're seeing now.
Mm.
So James, you're saying that you kind of expected the season to be hard like this. Did you see the results going the way they're
No,
going?
none of the results. So the way I saw it, I thought, you know what, we'll scrape through. We may do some 2-1s and get a 3-1 where we've scored the third goal with 5 minutes ago after being under the cosh with the team almost getting the second goal. But I didn't expect it to be as stuttering as it is. There's just no consistency to the team, partly because of injuries, which makes a lot of
Mm.
sense. And like I said, once I said before, partly because we've based so many things around, you know what, okay, cool, we pass the ball, he'll give it to Thiago, and Thiago finds a ball that no one else sees. Everyone's looking at Trent, but Thiago sees Henderson in the middle, and he plays a ball in there, and then all of a sudden something's opened, and we've got a shot off.
Mm.
Now it seems like all defenders just look at him and say, yeah, cool. You're gonna pass it left, you're gonna pass it right, you're gonna pass it to here. Trent's gonna try and a long range ball across the pitch or across, and they're ready for it. It doesn't help that everyone is now saying, okay, you know what? We're finally not going to attack Liverpool. We're going to sit back and we're going to counter you. Whereas before, you had some teams thinking, no, we can probably get something, we can get something. Whereas it generally is now, sit back because their high line, we can get something. We can get something from the high line, and if we get 2 3 shots on target, we probably score one. And whereas we're not scoring enough goals, that one shot on target and goal they're getting, or one goal they're getting, is now troublesome. I mean, Salah's has created more chances than anyone in the league, and our XG is off the charts. But you wouldn't see it from the games we're playing.
Mm.
So
You did have the 9-0, so you can't say you're not scoring enough goals.
It's early days as well. Like right now, you're playing teams when they're not mentally tired yet. They're still kind of
yeah,
focused, and so those games you're saying where Liverpool would often equalize late or get a late winner, those are not quite happening for you yet, just because the teams are still, from a mental perspective, they're still fresh. They're not physically fatigued yet, and I think it's later in the season where those are the type of wins that you'll start getting. But right now, that's not good for you because you're so far behind from a
exactly.
points perspective that you don't really you can't afford to keep dropping points, especially against teams who you would expect to get 3 points from. And obviously it's a derby, and I didn't realize how bad your record was in the last 10 at Goodison. You never really think about it because you always associate
No,
Liverpool with being like that
so
team.
dominant in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even in the derbies, most of the time you're the dominant team. But I felt Everton did really, really well and gave as good as they got. They defended really well, which you don't really associate with Everton normally anyway. Regardless of a derby or not, defending is usually something that um, they concentration, mistakes,
we've
especially
got to
with,
give them credit
yeah, you do,
because
you
Yeah,
do.
you got to give
also
him credit.
Having
Cody
First
and
half,
Tarkowski,
Cody and Tarkovsky,
they're
we
good
know
centre
what they can do.
backs.
yeah.
Mm.
First half, I'd argue that they were a lot better than you first half, and they probably deserve to have something early in that game from the way they started. So I don't know. Would you say you say that's 2 points dropped, or because obviously before the game you was philosophical and you were saying that the record's not great there, so you're not expecting too much. But do you think that was two
It's
points
it's
dropped,
it's
or
it's, it's always 2 points dropped because even Lampard said at the end, he said it's a good result considering the amount of chances they had. That's
Hmm.
what he said in his post match. So when I look at it, we had enough chances. I mean, Pickford, it's gone back to the days where we're playing against goalkeepers and they're getting man of the match.
yeah,
It's like, it used to happen to us
we've
all the
been there.
time. It used to happen to us all the time. That save, the last minute save from Pickford against Salah,
Hmm.
I thought he hit a post. And then when I saw him celebrating, and the commentator was like, did he get a touch in it? Because he's going a bit wild.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I saw it, I was like, flipping it, man.
He had an
So,
amazing, he had an amazing game, Pickford. He had an absolutely amazing game.
But even when he does have an
but
amazing game, he'll usually be susceptible to doing something stupid, which we've seen.
Well,
But
I'll give you an
he's not done
example.
that, so you got to
he's
give
got
credit where
captains in
credit's
front of
due.
him. Tarkowski is a captain, and Cody's a captain. So now he doesn't have to shout his head off as much
Mm.
because
I'll
he's
give you an
got people that
example
he
as well,
respects.
Pickford
Yeah,
there.
go on.
When he made that save from Salah and he's all pumped and hyped after that save, check the
Mm.
goal kick out. Goal kick went straight out,
Yeah, he
straight
did.
out. It's like sometimes I feel like that guy just can't control his emotions. Like it's crazy the mistakes that he can make, but then the performances that he can put in.
Yeah,
That performance there, because arguably I don't think he's the England's best goalkeeper, but
we'll
some
keep him number
disagree.
one.
But that performances like that in big matches like that, that's what Southgate sees in him and says, yeah,
Mm.
he's my number one,
And
regardless.
he hasn't let England down either, but so it helps him in that regard.
Mm.
But
Well,
I was sitting there thinking after the game, okay, cool. Let's see what Tottenham can do. And I watch it and I think, oh man, this is what I want us to be doing. 2-0 up. I know it gets a bit hairy,
because
but
it's Tottenham,
I don't.
we never make it
I
easier for ourselves.
see. I don't feel that way like you do. You guys feel that way because you're supporters of the team, innit?
Yeah, it's past
But I
experience,
watch
isn't
it.
it?
Yeah, I watch it. I'm
We've
thinking
been hit
I
hit
don't
so
see Tottenham
much,
losing or dropping.
but we still managed to
Admittedly,
concede a
it
goal.
does feel different.
Mitrovic again,
Yeah,
proving the
Mitrovic again.
doubters,
What a
Yeah,
finish!
proving the
What a
doubters wrong.
finish!
yeah.
But
I bet that one was for me. Still, he scored that one for me. I bet
nah, he's causing a problem. But
this
no,
way.
it's good because we haven't really done anything special so far this season. We've been getting results, which is not something you associate with Tottenham. We don't normally play bad and get results.
Mm.
And it's not like we played bad. We actually played quite well. I
It
felt
was
like,
arguably our best performance of the season,
yeah,
I'd
I
say.
mean, Southampton kind of gifted us that 4-1, but this
Yeah.
was I would felt like we earned this win a lot more than we had done with the other games. And Fulham didn't really cause too many problems until the end, as per usual, when you try and throw the kitchen sink to get something out of the game.
Yeah.
But it was controlled. It was unlucky for Richarlison, almost got his first goal, but slightly offside, unfortunately. The
Do you know what's funny
celebration and the
though?
yellow card.
Yellow card, it just doesn't get rescinded.
Nope,
I know it's crazy, isn't
That's
it? It's
funny.
crazy.
it's
But you
Should be
cold.
can't rescind it
rescinded.
though. Why though?
Why
He's done
But at
not?
the
it.
same
He's done
time,
it.
no.
You're
But at
not
the
supposed
same
to do
time,
it.
no, you're not supposed to do it. And if you think about it, say there was a goal that had got disallowed, but in the build-up, someone had made a red card tackle. It was still a red card
Yeah, you
tackle,
get.
bro.
Yeah,
So
perfect example. You
True.
still get it.
So realistically, it's you know what you're not supposed to do. He knows, especially he's been banned for throwing
Mm.
things into the crowd, so he should know better not to take a shirt off. But I understand emotions, and he's dying to get a
Of course, his
goal.
first goal.
Yeah, he's dying to get a
Mm.
goal in his on his full sort
He
of
he
start.
deserved the
So
goal.
he played
He
well.
deserved
He
the goal.
played well.
He played very well. Son, best performance from him so far this season. Although he didn't get the goal and stuff like that, but his performance was great. Kane as well. I felt Kane was quite amazing actually. The way he was dropping, he was kind of doing like the Firmino role and
He's
just
playing a
dropping
false
in and
nine almost, but
yeah.
being that
Um,
outlet, just
and he had a great game.
mm.
Um,
We look better in
even
midfield
even even
this time.
yeah, yeah.
How's
Longley
Basuma?
played really
That
well.
help?
Yeah, Basuma
Basuma
definitely
didn't start,
helped,
did he?
and he
It
got
Did he
helped, but
start?
I don't think he had the best game.
Did he start Basuma? Oh, yeah, because Bentancur's
no,
got the head injury, isn't
no, no,
he?
no. He didn't play.
He didn't play.
Basuma didn't start this game. He started against
No, no,
West
Oh,
Ham.
okay.
no.
It was
Bentoncourt
Bentancur.
started
Bentancur had a
Oh,
great
Bentancur's
game,
back.
on
and
Hoiberg.
Ah,
Hoiberg
okay,
scored.
okay.
So it was just I felt like there was more of a concerted effort to dominate that that area, and you can see that the centre backs, whichever was the spare centre back, kept pushing into midfield to add that extra man. So you felt like there was a bit more control in there, whereas in the other games you've seen that Højbjerg
Mm.
and Bentancur or Bissouma have kind of been dominated because there's always been an extra man.
Is
But
Davies in trouble then? With Longley having such a good first start?
Lonley's a
Yeah,
better player. He's more talented
Yeah, he
than
is.
Ben. But the thing is, Ben hasn't put a foot wrong. And out of all of our centre backs that have played this season, he's made the least mistakes, realistically. It's
Mm.
just that Longley is a better defender from a technical perspective, ability.
I
So,
think that made the difference. I think that made the difference personally, and I think Conte's going to take that into note because he looked a lot more comfortable as a centre back and did all of the roles that are expected of a centre back in a back three, and he made it look easy.
hmm
Like even when he was under a bit of pressure at the end when it was 2-1, he
Mm.
was probably one of the best defenders on the pitch at that time. He was
mm.
calm, controlled. So I think he made a statement with that performance, and I think Ben's in trouble. To be honest with you,
I was
even
impressed
even
with Sessignon.
even Emerson had a good game as well.
Yeah,
Like
and Sessignon.
Mm.
yeah, he
He's
made
getting
five
better and better.
changes. He made 5 changes, so it's good to see that you didn't see too much difference with the changes, and in fact, you probably say that it was a better performance from the team. Maybe because Richarlison played, maybe because Longley played. Um, so
It
for
keeps your
me,
mind sharp, isn't it? Like you got a couple of new players who you got to make sure they fit into the system and fit into the team. So that
Mm.
other players are now like, okay, we need to make sure we've got their back and support them as much as we can. So keep building, man. Keep building.
yeah, it was a good result. Like we said, it could have been easier. Could have been, much more of a distance to see the match through, but
Yeah.
we held on. Even when they scored, I didn't feel like they was gonna get that additional goal to make it 2-2 because under Conte we seem to be a bit more resolute in those situations. So it's a good result. Like I said, undefeated, keeping up in that top four.
Level on points
You
with
want
City,
to
which is
exactly.
unexpected.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys, you guys want to finish in the top four on your level with City. That's what you need. That's where we
yeah.
want to be, and you're where we want to be. So
That's like Leon said. Leon says he doesn't want to be finishing the season, 20 points adrift of the top team, which everyone is accounting for at the moment is going to be City, and
mm,
we're level on points with them as it stands. So it's a good look right now.
And
I
then
think
move on to City because they dropped points as well, didn't they? Really, you have to say.
Yeah,
I
strange
was
game that.
happy.
I did
I was
say to
happy
you
that.
last show. I did say to you last show. Watch maybe Aston Villa pull off something, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
true.
Well, Gerrard
it
said
did.
he needed runners. He wanted people that were going to work hard. So I
Mm.
think
But
he
remember,
dropped Coutinho to the bench and he brought him on in the end.
and he played the three. Remember, I said, why doesn't he play all three of them?
hmm
And he
he knew he
did.
needed runners against City. You cannot play man for man, as in try to play ballers in there
Yeah.
against him. You need runners. You need
Mm.
people that's going to hunt and put pressure and make it difficult for him, and they did that. So you got to give him
I think
credit.
it was quite smart because you had Douglas Luiz, he wanted to go to Arsenal,
Mm,
and he was obviously upset about that. And he said, "You know what? You didn't go because I don't want you to go, so you're going to start against Man City." And
Mm.
then instead of sulking, he stood up and he had a good game.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And he put himself in the window for because obviously he's going to leave at the end of the season, I imagine.
hmm
But he's put himself in the window for all the other teams. If he keeps doing that, then Gerrard might not be in as much trouble because even Mings having a battle with Haaland, which I thought was quite funny. It was trying to put pressure on Haaland and niggle him here and there and do his normal Mings things, but it worked, I guess, because
I guess it did.
It worked in terms of him not getting
Haaland,
a hat
Haaland
trick,
still,
they,
but he still
Haaland
scored.
still
he
got his
got he got
goal.
his
Yeah.
he got his goal, but as in he wasn't as free as he was. He knew there was someone around him, and
Mm.
and the defense, I guess, was just better because they're three defensive midfielders essentially, so they
Mm.
looked more solid. Even when they lost Matty Cash, Ashley Young came on, and he was strong. And he's got a chip on his shoulder, so for him,
Yeah,
it's Man
same with
City. He's a Man
Mings.
United guy now. He's thinking, I'm not letting these Man City guys just do me. And I think this Phil Foden, you do get one on me. So Gerrard will be happy, and I guess it's someone for him to hang on to for the next few games because we all thought, okay, these two games, count them out, forget it. It's playing Man City. It's a free hit. So
Yeah.
now they've done this. The next game is they have to win it. I think they've got to get 6 out of 6 in the next two games to take them out of trouble, in my opinion.
Who? Villa.
Possibly, but
Yeah, I think they have to. They're in trouble still. They may have got this draw, but this was it's like we said from last game, it's a free hit. No one they're gonna say, yeah, you drew against them, but if he loses the next two games or gets
Oh,
four
sorry.
points,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no,
Sorry,
yeah, no one's gonna
I misheard
remember.
you. I thought you were trying to say that they need to win 6 in a row, but you meant to get 6 points out of 6.
No
Nah, yeah, I
points.
got you. I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
he needs to win the next two
That
games, bro.
makes
6 out of 6,
sense. Bro, I was
jeez.
thinking, right, your chest high.
City can't even do that right now.
Exactly.
yeah.
No one
What?
can,
So
and not
what
good
happened?
Arsenal.
What happened to City then? Why did they fail to see that out? What do you think? It kind of went stale second half, really.
Well, they could have
They
lost that
had
game
this
because
though.
that Coutinho
Yeah.
flipping disallowed goal as well, which
Yeah.
VAR.
VAR has
It's
been
not the
unwatched.
VAR. It's not the VAR.
It's
Sorry,
the
sorry
referee.
VAR.
It's the
The referee blew the
referee.
whistle. Why?
Yeah.
Like they may have not scored because John Stones stopped
The referee
and
blew
so
the
did
whistle because the
Mahrez.
linesman actually
Yeah,
put his flag up, and
put his
that's the
flag up.
reason. That's
Mm.
the reason.
But we've seen Ransman put their flag up and the referee just carry on. So I don't get why he didn't carry on. Like I said again, Mahrez stopped, so Mahrez didn't put a foot in. And what do you call it? When you see the shot itself, realistically, if it was live in play, Stones would have probably tried to get in front of it, and he just did this to get out of the way because he thought it was going to hit his face. So it might not have been a goal, but still,
But at
it's
the
poor.
point when he blew, it is poor. But at the point when he blew the whistle, it
Mm.
didn't really look like there
It
was
looked
going
like
to
a
be a shot
dangerous.
flipping 20 yards out
Yeah,
at that point because
Yeah.
Coutinho still had to receive the ball, beat a man, and then he struck it. So
he's Brazilian. He's Coutinho.
yeah, I know, and that's his
He,
bread and
he,
butter. It did
he,
take a
like, he
deflection on the
likes to
way
shoot
in
from
as well,
there.
so that's another
Yeah.
reason why it
Yeah.
was difficult. But yeah, the VAR, the refereeing decisions have been a bit dodgy this
But like you
weekend.
said regarding Man City, what happened? This happens. We've seen them do it at Southampton last season. We've seen them do it against Crystal Palace last season. They have these games.
But
And
that's
now what's
They,
probably going to
but
happen?
that's
They're probably
why
they've
getting
had
5 and 6 in a row now.
Pep
They're
they've
always
had that
five or
this
six in a row.
wants more
Yeah,
goals.
go on.
He always wants more
Yeah,
goals
they,
because 1-0 is always too tight. It's always too tight.
yeah.
they've had it this season, and normally, put games away. So you would have thought when Villa scored that they would have been back on it.
It's just I don't know. I think they're still adjusting. I think they might have got another injury because I'm sure Ake came on. Can't remember who came on for, but Ake came on as a substitute as well. So maybe a few things aren't right. But talking about VAR, Chelsea game, Now, do you think that should have been disallowed?
No,
I
no,
think it was
definitely not.
I think it was soft, and realistically I don't. But I think Mendy did a great acting job.
Mendy knew what he was doing,
Yeah,
bro.
of course he did.
He's
He did a
playing the
great
game. He knew.
he did
He
a
knew the
great acting
situation.
job.
In that scenario, he's like, what else has he got to lose? Just stay on the floor, act like you're hurt, injured, like you've been kicked up, mash up, like you're cutting, you're bleeding. It was a joke. Like I don't know how that's got disallowed. Like
I think it's in the rule
I,
book that if the goalkeeper goes down injured, and obviously injured
Mm.
in inverted commas, then the
yeah,
referee has to blow the whistle, and that's the problem.
But he
So,
didn't blow the whistle. They scored.
oh yeah,
They
of course,
scored
yeah,
though.
he did,
He didn't blow the
yeah,
he
whistle
didn't blow
because
it.
It
it's
was
but
VAR.
remember it's like
VAR.
Technically,
It
it's like
went
yeah,
to
Man
it's
VAR.
United.
VAR. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I don't think VAR should have overturned it because it wasn't a clear and obvious.
Error.
Okay, I
It
said
wasn't a
last week
clear
clear and
as
obvious is gone.
ever.
Clear and obvious is
Sorry.
pretty much gone. I think I said that last week in the thing. It's more or less gone. But it wasn't. I don't think they needed to step in for it. I think if they'd given the goal, no one would have been like, "That's outrageous. How could you not look at the goalkeeper?" They'd have been like, "Okay, cool. He got the goalkeeper tried it, but it was a good goal."
Bro, who are they trying to
So
appease? End of the day, they've got to get the decision right. It's not about appeasing what's going to be the most popular decision. It's what is the
but
correct
it shouldn't
decision.
be.
And
They
the
shouldn't
problem
be
is
trying to appease.
interpretation. Like the
Mm,
referee made a decision at the time that he thought was the right one, and
yeah.
they question it. He has to go to the monitor and then look at it. But he didn't really. To me, he had a good view of the
He looked for
situation.
long though.
He had a good view of the situation. He did look for long.
And it's almost like they're all trying to convince him that
That
no,
he's
you have to
down,
change it
so you have to
because
change it.
look. Otherwise, I know for me it should be quick, quick, quick. So
I mean,
I
we're
know,
cutting Mendy, but we've seen many goalkeepers do the madness that he does,
yeah,
as in
yeah,
faking injury. You
Yeah,
see him go out for corners, like, oh, referee, touch me on my back, and pause, by the way.
it's
But yeah,
true. But in terms of the game though, are Chelsea still in trouble? I think personally, I've been saying it from before. Why don't you start Broja? As soon as Broja came on, it was a different team. You
mm,
had someone occupying the centre backs. You had someone who was going to stretch, and he's not a dead player. He's still young. He's still a bit raw, but they look so much better with him.
I don't
So
know.
obviously now Aubameyang's going to come in, and it's going to be different again. But I think they missed the trick. Tuchel's missed the trick, not giving Broja more starts. Happy for us because as opposition fans, they're not firing all cylinders. I just think it's weird.
It's gonna have a bit. I think he's trying to figure out what his best lineup is now. And I don't. When I say best lineup, he's known for obviously playing a team that works well against each opposition. But you
Mm,
know, every team that he's been at prior to Chelsea, he's had a central striker. He's had someone to
yeah,
go to um, up top, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I actually think that he's trying to accommodate Havertz more than anything else. Because if you think about it, Havertz doesn't suit playing out wide. He's actually his
mm,
best position is actually as a shadow striker or support striker, where he plays off
yeah,
the lead man, and Tuchel's system doesn't actually have have the flexibility to do that because he likes to play 3-4-3 or sometimes a 3-5-2, but he doesn't really sit in or doesn't fit in where he would ideally like him to. So I think when Aubameyang is fit, it will be interesting to see where he puts Havertz in because that seems to be his go-to. And Havertz actually got a goal, but he got that goal when who, as you said, was brought on, Broja. So
yeah. He's been dropped, so he might be in and out. But so we've lost Daryl for a little bit, but I'm sure he'll come back. Um, he's been in and out, but how do you see the rest of the team though? Defense, because brought in a new centre back now. I think he had a decent game, and they always look better with. I don't know. Like I've said it to you before. Chilwell. When Chilwell plays, I think they're a better team attacking.
I don't know why.
And what does he
I
do?
don't
He
know
comes
why
on.
he
I don't know
sees
why they
him as a
ball.
defensive liability. That
I
can be
don't.
the only thing that I can think of. But when you think about it,
Yeah.
they brought Chilwell in to cover for another defensive liability, which is Alonso. We know Alonso can't
Yeah.
defend, but going forward, amazing. Same with Chilwell. Going forward, you always see the problems he causes. I don't think he's a liability in defense. I don't think he's a liability like we've seen with some other defenders or left backs. But I don't know what it is. It's like he defensively, you'd say Cucurella is probably the better out of the two.
Yeah, he
But
is.
going forward,
Going forward,
Chilwell
he's
is a
not.
problem because he's always willing to overlap. He's willing to break lines. Even when the FA Cup final, when they lost to Leicester, he
Mm.
was unlucky to have his goal disallowed. So yeah,
Welcome back, Daryl.
yeah, we lost
So
you for a
about
minute there.
technical difficulties, technical
Welcome
difficulties.
back.
It's all good, man. It happens. It
It's
happens.
cool. We were just saying about Chilwell that we don't understand why Chilwell was dropped, replaced. Because look what happens when he comes on. Comes on, gets a goal,
Scores a
looks
goal, yep.
sharp, and it's just a weird one. So Cucurella costing that much money. I know they've lost Alonso, so they've now got two left backs still. So but it's a very expensive second choice left back. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very expensive second choice.
They got money to burn right now,
Yeah, true.
so it appears. So no one's really worried about how much they're spending. They've spent what was it the most now in the Premier League history.
Yeah, they did.
So
Probably.
so
So then,
realistically, this is nothing new from Chelsea. I don't even think they're finished. Obviously, they're finished for this transfer window, but they're gonna make more signings.
January.
Yeah,
They're probably spending it in
Yeah.
January.
yeah. I think they'll still bring another striker in if they can. It just depends on
Mm.
who. So we'll see what happens when Aubameyang
Do,
is fit and ready to play.
do you think he can be the real deal for them? Do you reckon he can make the difference for them?
Who, Aubameyang?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We know he can score goals. We saw it at Barcelona. He's capable of scoring. I think things just didn't go right with Arsenal. He obviously falling out, and his disciplinary record from a um, lateness and going that commitment in training and all that sort of stuff fell out with Arteta. But realistically, that as a player still there, capable of scoring goals, and that's what Chelsea have been missing. That's the reason they bought Lukaku. Lukaku just couldn't find a
Mm.
net, and even though Aubameyang didn't have a great end to his Arsenal career, if you look at his goal record over the course of the time he was there, there's not many other strikers in the league that have scored anywhere near the amount of goals in the
Yeah,
number
and
of games.
he did his thing in Barcelona as well, so it's
Mm.
not even like to
Yeah.
say
He's a
he's
spent
past it
force.
or
No,
anything.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know how it goes nowadays.
Xavi didn't want him to leave either.
No.
Xavi wanted him to stay.
They just can't afford.
And he wanted Depay to go. Depay stayed.
But he couldn't.
Well,
No, there wasn't a buyer for Depay, and they couldn't afford. They couldn't afford to keep
Yeah, they
both.
bought
They
Milik.
had to get
Juve
rid of
bought
one of
Milik
them.
no,
instead, innit?
exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. But they got 2 additional points from my opinion there because that goal should
West
never
Ham
have been
were
disallowed,
unlucky.
Yeah.
and they'll build on that. They'll go from strength from that. To be honest with you, sometimes those those moments can define
Fortuitous
you, and
decisions. Mm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see how they. Because let's be honest, it was a good game. West Ham were about it as well. They're in it as well.
They
So
seem back to normal West Ham, innit?
yeah, but Europe's starting again now, so we know their struggles when they're in European competition as well as the league. So it'd be interesting to see how West Ham do there.
So talking about fortunate, Man United.
Whoa,
The end of the game.
whoa,
The end of the
James.
game. The end of the game. It wasn't, but I don't think that first goal should have been disallowed. And if Arsenal scored first.
What, the foul?
At Old Trafford. Yeah, I don't think it was a foul. You watched the game earlier. If you watch the Leicester game, Leicester's first goal was virtually exactly the same. No one complained. The player got up, chased back. Can't remember which player it was. Got back up, chased back. The goal was scored, and that was it. Is it that you should be allowed physical contact like that? And for me, that was just physical contact.
I
And
don't know.
I don't think it was a foul where VAR should say, you know what, that's too much. It should be overruled. That's what I see it. If the referee had straight away had said, you know what, that's a foul, cool. But I don't think he missed something. That's my view.
It was foul though.
I think
You have to say
foul.
it is a foul.
But
It's a foul.
And the thing is,
But like you're saying, if he
the
hasn't
referee
given
didn't
it,
give it, and it's supposed to be an obvious
Yeah.
error, and it's not an obvious error if the ref didn't give it. But that's another conversation about what VAR should be, because right now it seems to be very blurred lines.
No one knows.
No.
English referees and assistant referees and VAR referees is making a mess of it all. You don't see
well,
this other nonsense.
they say they're
abroad.
reviewing it, so they're going to be reviewing a couple of decisions over the weekend because there was a host of poor VAR decisions this weekend. So I don't know, get rid of VAR. leave it to the referees again.
I don't,
Like,
I don't want to get rid of VAR because I see the benefits of it.
yeah, of course,
The
as a Liverpool
ref,
fan, I'm sure you do, innit?
no, listen, it's already been debunked. We're not
Yeah,
favourites. The rules
sure.
show that we're down the bottom when it comes to
Oh, is it?
overturns. Yeah, we are.
Okay, okay.
So we
It-
could talk
we
about it,
we
fam.
talk about overtalk. We talk about we talk about key moments or any moments.
VAR, where VAR has intervened and a team has gained from it. We're nowhere near the top from gaining
Okay.
We'll
from
need a
VAR.
whole new episode to
But
discuss VAR, mate.
exactly. But Man United, I give them credit. Liverpool have given them the leg up by boosting the confidence from beating us, and now
Agreed.
they're running with it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They're running with it. I said it from the beginning that I think they can finish top four because they've got a good manager, who are bringing good players, and if he drops the deadwood and uses the best of what he's got,
We all said they
then
were going to
they
be in a
will
hunt,
do it.
James. Like, let's be not.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
we know that Man United's
Yeah.
results are not befitting of the actual squad they have. There's a lot of players that haven't performed to the level they should have, and are starting to perform now. Rashford
Yeah.
and Sancho being two. Bruno Fernandes is he's starting to hit form
Why
again.
did I take
That
Rashford out of my
that
fantasy
through
team?
ball from Bruno, and
Mm.
obviously you got Ericsson,
Mhm.
who's doing the things that he did
Everton,
for
yep.
Tottenham and he did for Denmark and he's done for Brentford. He moves the ball quick. He plays one touch passes, first time passes in through splits. He's literally split the midfield open with that pass to Fernandes, and then Fernandes is able to find
Mhm.
Rashford. So
And he's got the work rate as well.
Him,
The
him,
needs.
him,
He's got
him
the
and
work
Bruno
rate.
together, Ericsson and Bruno together, that could be a real problem.
well, we
Like,
said it when they don't have the ball, it
Yeah.
might be an issue. But when they do, and the fact is, Bruno
yeah,
and Ericsson are both putting in the work at the moment that
Yeah, they are.
that you need from them to be able to allow them to play together. So you got to give credit where credit's due. He's got the team playing. They've got Anthony now, so they've got that balance because Sancho is
yeah.
looking better on the left. Anthony's obviously better on the right, and then Rashford at the moment is keeping Ronaldo at the starting lineup. So you got to give credit where credit's due. It's going to be interesting
But
to
do you
see.
think it's because they've played teams that are going to attack them? Once they get into teams that actually want to sit back and say, you know, you break us down, and we're going to play a back five, will it change? Because Liverpool counter attack, Arsenal counter attack.
I
That's where they
But then
killed
they've
them
played
as well.
Southampton. They played
Who's gonna sit?
Southampton, and Southampton could have got something out of that game.
But Southampton play open though.
Yeah,
They play
but
open more
then
open than we do.
but then I think because of how Ten Hag usually sets up his teams to be attacking.
Mm.
He's not normally known for being a counter-attacking team, like managing a counter-attacking
He's
team.
gone back to Ollie's football, innit?
Yeah,
It's been Ollie
at the
ball.
moment, but they're playing better football. It's just
Yeah.
it's early days. It's going to take time for him to get the team to play exactly how he wants and to play in his design. But they've got the players to do it. You've got two creative players already in Ericsson and Fernandez. Both of us would love to have a player that could do that. And you've
Yep.
got Thiago. He's
You
injured.
guys should have taken him back,
Well,
man.
we
You guys
said
should have
that,
taken
but
Ericsson
we
back,
said
man.
why we don't think he took him is because of the training regime.
It's your faults. I blame you
So
guys.
You say about teams sitting back against them, James. Who's going to sit back against United at the moment, though? Let's be real.
There's
Like-
teams that are going to be more sturdy. It's like West Ham, they won't come out and go blow for blow like Liverpool, Man United, and Arsenal have. That's what I mean. The teams that go blow for blow, the counter-attacking style will be great. But there'll be teams that will look at Man United now and say, you know what, okay, cool, they've won 3 in a row. Like, let's calm. Because last year, teams had no fear of Man United. So they're like, you know what, they're not what they were before. So we can actually try and get something here. Now they've done this. Now it's going to be a case. Okay, cool. Can they now bring teams down again? They should be with Ericsson's passing. It might work, but he's now having to do it from further forward, and with less space for them to run into. Everyone knows Rashford running into space. It's a long day, man. But once that space is gone, is it time for Ronaldo? Maybe that's what
they're doing. They know that Rashford is going to be the guy for these type of matches, and Ronaldo, as he did last season, he gets goals. It's just you don't expect him to do too much off the ball. Don't expect him to be running channels and doing all those things that he used to do. He's not that guy anymore. He doesn't need to be.
Right, enough menu.
Yeah.
Enough menu.
Yeah. Enough menu because
Arsenal.
Yeah, we got to talk Arsenal because a lot of Arsenal
credit.
fans will be watching this and be thinking like, "Come on, man! Well, where's our respect? Where's the credit we deserve
They
more?"
played well.
Like, Arsenal feel like they should have won that match,
Mm.
and
They
like
lost because
United were lucky.
Arteta lost them the game. Like
What with the substitutions?
Gary Neville called it on the nose, and I was sitting thinking the same. Like, why are you making all three now?
Mm.
Like, you really didn't need to do that. Like, Gary Neville may have harped on about it, but it was true. And you saw after they scored, Arteta had his hands over his face because he knew. You took off your left back and you left him exposed. You put Martinelli to play left back. Why would you do that?
Mm.
He could have brought in Tomiyasu instead. Like, you in that situation against Man United, you're on top. Why don't you just do it a little bit later?
What do you mean?
Yeah?
What did he do? He took off
There was 20 minutes
Zinchenko.
left. He took off Zinchenko's.
For
And he put
who?
Martinelli left back.
Why would he do that? He had Tierney on the bench.
He brought on Vieira, exactly. He brought on
I
Vieira.
didn't even know that.
He brought on Nketiah, and he brought on
Smith
Smith
Rowe.
Rowe. That was his three changes. He
Yeah,
didn't need to go.
Wow.
He didn't need to
I,
go
I,
attacking. He didn't
it
need
was
to.
it was overconfidence by him. To be honest with you, he felt that when they
They
got
were
back
on
into the
top.
game,
Yeah.
they were on top, and that they were the only team that was going to go and win this. Is the overconfidence, like most Arsenal fans, they had the overconfidence, and I think you're right. Those changes were a mistake at that point to make them all there. And it played into United's hands as like you said, the counter attacking style that they was playing. So
Because the goal came from the right as well.
yeah,
The cross came from the pass came from
Yep.
the right, and the perfect time run from Eriksen,
Eriksen,
and
yeah,
3-1 game done. So
Yeah.
credit, you can give them credit because I'm not as Merson said they battered them. I don't think they battered them. They played really when they got the
They played-
equaliser. They played really well, and it probably looked like they may get the next goal. Then they conceded, and it was like, okay, cool. Then I think at the same time, them being a young team, as a young manager, a young team, and they didn't handle the pressure.
No.
I know I'm saying quite a lot of what Gary Neville said, but what Gary Neville said was true. I saw it very similar to how he saw it, and with a bit more experience in both sides, on the bench and on the pitch, then it could have been a different game for them. You didn't have to win the game. It's at Old Trafford. A draw
No,
would have
it's
been
true.
fine.
Well, not even
You
just
didn't have
that.
to win it.
You might have been able to win the game with the players you already had on the pitch because they were playing
Yeah.
well in anyway. So there was no
No,
need
there-
to
there
make
was-
those drastic
They was
changes.
confident, man. They was confident. You know, it was the August Invincibles were they was all over it, innit? They was confident.
August Invincibles.
They was all over it. They thought they had that, bro. They had that. It's like, yep, we've got this. There's confident, and they will learn. Arteta will learn from this. Let's not get it twisted. He's gonna learn from this. He's not gonna make these mistakes again. So, you know, look, they're still top of the table.
Yep.
That's their first loss, and a game that arguably they possibly were the better team. You know, as United fans will tell you, it's all about the 3 points. That's all that matters at the end of the day. United got the 3 points. They're now in the chase. Arsenal still top, and like I said, Arteta will learn from that, and they'll roll on.
Let's see what happens when Arsenal get their first slap, and now we'll have to test their mettle. And
But it wasn't a slap though, James. That's they can go away from that match and be proud of their performance. So it wasn't really a slap. Yeah, it wasn't a slap.
The only setback
You know,
is
if
the
they
fact
go-
that they lost, but
Fair
they're
enough.
still
Yeah,
top,
exactly.
so they're still in control of where they're going to be. Effectively, it's a long season, but they're still top. And
Right, who they got next? They got Everton next
exactly,
on Sunday.
away or at home,
At home.
it's a win, bruv.
Yeah.
It's a
So
win.
So
they should win it, really.
yeah, like back in the day, Arsenal fans would be getting really upset about this and vocal about same thing, losing to United, blah blah blah. But you're not hearing that from them. What I'm hearing from them now is like United were lucky, we deserve to win. We're still top of the table. We move on. So that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
Should we touch on the two
So-
5-2s, the 2-5-2 games?
Yeah.
Brentford
Which one
first.
Which one
goes
first? Which one
So,
first?
So Brentford
Brighton.
first.
Well, I thought
Brentford.
Brighton. All right, we'll go Brentford.
James, what you?
I know
James
you're
is gunning
ready for
Yeah, I
Brendan,
know
bruv.
James.
He's ready for Brendan.
Yeah, James is gunning for Brendan,
So
boy.
we'll save it
Jeez.
to after.
It's,
Save it
it's,
to
it's,
after.
probably, it's probably done that.
Let's go to the Ivan Tony show.
Yeah, bruv.
Wow.
I did say, do you think he deserves an England call up? And you lot was like,
Well,
I've
we said
always been
Callum
a-
Wilson. We said Callum
Yeah.
Wilson's injured.
Yeah, I've
So-
always been a Ivan Tony fan. You know, when we wanted that striker Leon, if that's back up for Kane, I wanted Ivan Tony
mhm.
before he went to Brentford, but didn't happen. And yeah, look, he started this season very well.
Alright,
Started
that free
this season
kick.
very well.
Mate.
Oh,
I never knew he had. I never knew he had.
No,
a free
none of
kick
us
in him,
did.
I'll be
That-
honest.
I've even seen
I
I've
never knew
seen
had
him
it.
do, you know, the Soccer AM things where they do the drills.
Oh yeah.
He didn't
Top
even
tip,
do
yeah.
that in that, bruv. That
Nah.
that strike was too much. But you saw
The,
even with the composure, with the one where the keeper had
the
come
third.
out.
The hat
Oh
trick goal.
yeah, the
Oh
hat trick
man.
goal, Leon. The composure. I thought that was so. Aye, that for me that was the better goal.
He's on a
Like,
Mm.
he's on a rich vein
on
of
a hat
form.
trick.
I hope he can continue it, because what we see
Yeah.
with a lot of, these potential guys that you think, you know, can be as force their way into the England side, it doesn't last.
Mm.
Like we saw with DCL, Calvert-Lewin, he was the guy that was going to be the next backup. Then it was Tammy. Tammy's still actually doing his thing for Roma,
Mm.
so you never know. I think Tammy will end up going, but I think Tony has a big shout, especially over Ings, because Ings is not really doing anything
Ings
for
is
Villa
done
right now,
now. Yeah, he's done
and he's
now.
injury prone
England
as well.
wise.
So you don't even know if he's going to be ready in time for the
Mm.
World Cup. But nah, brilliant performance from Brentford. Leeds, a setback for them.
Okay, result. We talked about VAR again.
Mhm,
It's another VAR.
mhm.
That was a penalty. That was a
It
penalty.
was 100%.
Yeah, it was a
And
penalty.
he
Yeah,
got
definitely.
sent off for it, and that changed the game as well
Mm.
because you lose your manager, the team's up in arms, and you feel aggrieved. And sometimes it can go one way or the other, and it literally went downhill from there. And
Yeah.
I can't see how VAR can sit there and slow certain things down, and then not slow that down and not see him get the back heel tripped inside the box.
The
It
thing
just
is, the
doesn't make
foul
sense. And then
started outside
they
the
didn't even
box.
go.
The foul started
He
outside the
didn't give
box, and it
anything, though,
kept
did
going
he?
all the way into the box.
But I think that why Marsh was so annoyed is that they didn't even say go and have a look at it.
No,
At least have a look at
no,
it.
they didn't.
Mm.
So VAR didn't intervene. Was it broken?
VAR was a
They
mess
lost
this weekend,
comms.
man. VAR was a mess this weekend.
They lost comms.
I don't know. I don't know who was on
Stockley.
shift in Stockley Park, where I don't know who was on shift over there this weekend, but they had a mare.
They really
Because
did.
they had another one in the other 5-2 game as well. Like we missed out on a fantastic goal from McAllister because
Yeah.
he was up. Okay, was it a mare? He was offside. He went to head. He went to bicycle kick it and he missed it. So did
He was
he
interfering.
in that
Technically,
action?
he's
Yeah.
interfering.
So
Yeah.
Because
it
the
was
player would have had
probably
a
the
Technically.
right
a cleaner
decision.
header. I
A
think
clean
it was the
header.
right decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just that the strike was so good. We missed out on an
Yeah,
absolute
exactly.
Yeah.
wonder
Yeah.
strike. But then he hits a free kick later on and sort of gets it back. But go on, James. I know you're ready for Brendan, bruv.
Yeah.
Go
Go
for it.
on. What you got to say?
Listen,
5-2
I don't
again.
hate. I don't really dislike Brendan, but my issue with what Brendan is doing now is the amount of players he's been able to buy. Yeah, he upsets his squad. The guys that he doesn't think he needs anymore, he upsets them to the point where he discards them, and now they don't work for him no more. What would be funny is Sionchu has his flaws, but he's a good Premier League
He
centre
bought
back.
him though.
Mm.
Exactly, but something has gone so wrong where the guy's not even in the squad anymore for that game, and there's talk of him going to Galatasaray.
Mm.
I don't know what he was thinking last year buying Vestergaard, because Vestergaard is not of the caliber of Leicester we're looking at. I'm pretty
Mm.
sure Southampton were rubbing their hands with Lee when they came in to try and sign him. So then you've got Sionchu, you've got Vestergaard, centre backs, and then you're playing your best defensive midfielder at centre back. He had a man. Indeed,
Yeah,
he had a
Didi,
nightmare in that
that was
game
one of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Normally, you look at him, he's
because
Mr. Reliable, but he's playing in defence. He doesn't. He's not. That's not his position. So,
and then the team has got no confidence.
mm,
You had
The thing is, it's not
them
the fact
shouting
that
at each other.
it's not even the fact that it's not his position. It's what they're losing from not having
him in midfield.
Exactly,
Ndidi in midfield. Just doesn't
exactly.
make sense.
There's no
Like when
protection
they
for the
go, like you
teams.
talk about Vestergaard, how many games did Vestergaard play last season?
Mm.
Yeah,
You know,
and he quickly realized he wasn't quick enough to play the line they wanted. But just give him the run of games, man.
but
Because now
you
they brought in this new guy, Wells, and then he had work permit problems. So hopefully, in their case, is he going to solve the issues and they get Ndidi back in? But then now you've probably got an unhappy Madison because Madison had a nightmare the whole game. Like I think two of the goals were his fault
well,
in
you
that
got
game.
you could say that he did some of the same. He had some of the same traits when he was at Liverpool. Did he not? Did he not have?
You, Brendan.
Yeah,
Ish, you
he
know,
upset. Yeah, he upset fringe players, and then
I'm
they
Raheem.
never.
and
Yeah,
Sterling, yeah, Sterling too, yeah.
they never ended up backing it for him when he needed them. So he's talked out to the press about not getting enough money. I don't think they're going to get rid of him for it because he's probably got too much stock
I
from
don't
winning
know.
the FA Cup.
I'd be surprised. I'll be surprised if he lasts 2 weeks. I reckon he'll be gone. I reckon
I think
Leicester will
now it's
make the.
shut. He's either got to accept the situation and
I
stop
think he
moaning,
will.
and the players have to get get their heads out of their ass as well, because realistically they have not lived up to the reputation that they've built for themselves. So effectively, they're the ones that have performed and technically outperformed what people expected of them by qualifying for Europe and doing so well in Europa League last season. You just, I don't know.
Yeah,
They
some of the players have got to take some responsibility. I don't
definitely.
know if you've seen that seen that little video on Twitter of Tillersman tracking back for one of the goals.
No, I haven't seen it. I'll
Like
check it.
Well, that was the
But
same
it's
when
a
Madison
joke.
lost it as well, bro. He lost the ball
yeah,
and he started jogging back, thinking, "Oh, someone else will clean up my mess," and they didn't.
twice.
Yeah,
Marty went mad at him. She should have fouled him. I know why he didn't foul him because it was a yellow card.
Yeah,
He would have got sent off. But they've got Aston Villa next, rejuvenated
big game.
Gerrards,
That's
and
a
then they've
big
got you
game.
guys, and then they've got you guys, which I don't expect them to get anything from. I know you guys might say, but you're at home. I don't expect them to beat you guys on
Nah,
Saturday night.
I expect us to go and beat Leicester the way that they're
Yeah.
playing right now. But then again, like I said, it's going to be a manager's derby next week. Like who's going to be under pressure the most
with
in
Gerard
that
and
game?
Brendan.
Yeah, and like next thing you know, Brendan gets a win, and you know where the gift that always gives at Spurs anyway. So
But his next 4 games, Villa, you, then Forest and Bournemouth. So he realistically, if he can get 9 or 7 points
Go
from the
7.
next 4 games, 7 points from the next 4 games, then that's a good shout for him. It's a good
Yeah, the
mm,
recovery.
table's
You know
still
what?
tight.
There'll be a nine.
Yeah, it's still tight.
There'll be 9 points after that.
Couple of wins and everything looks a bit
Oh, 8 points. Sorry.
more rosy compared to
the thing
how
is
it
though, the
starts.
thing is, how many times they've been in the lead this season and then
Hmm.
capitulated? That's not a good look.
Mm,
Yeah.
That's not a good look because even when they get into a game and they're winning and they're doing their thing, something goes wrong and it's going to be in the players' heads. It's going to be in the back of their heads that we could throw this away again because they've done it too many times already this season.
hmm
So it's a bit scary for them. Bit scary for them. But yeah, back onto VAR. Let's talk about Newcastle Palace.
Ah.
God,
What?
James.
What?
Like,
No, I may sound naive, but
God.
why do managers lie? I just don't get it. Why? How's Patrick Vieira coming out and saying, "Yeah, that's a foul"? That whole world can see that Willock was pushing to the goalkeeper, and you're going to call it a foul on the goalkeeper. You don't push him, and the goalkeeper catches it. It's fine. That's not a foul.
Mm,
So the goal should have stood all day long. And then in the
yeah.
middle of the pitch, if both players collide, they probably play on. But obviously, it's a goalkeeper, so it's always different.
As I
But
said,
that should have stood
it should have.
100%.
And
Like I
when the
said, the thing is,
goalkeeper goes down, the referee's gonna go.
yeah.
It's unfair.
He got pushed. The player got
I know,
pushed
bro. I
Exactly.
saw
That's
it.
into the
exactly.
keeper. So, like, if VAR has seen that, it's not the player committing a foul. He's not committed the foul.
Mm.
The foul's been on him. He's gone into the keeper. So they're on. It should have stood.
So remind me, was the goal given and then chalked off? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Because if it was, then I can't even. You can blame the ref, but I don't even know why VAR told him to go and have a look. Because VAR should have just said, "You know what? There's a push here. Play on." Now
VAR
you got to
was
give it
on
to the referee.
the
Madness.
VAR
It's-
refs were on one this weekend. Let's just say that they went
Yeah,
on
I think
strike
let's
or something. I don't know.
I don't
Or
know.
it's
Yeah, maybe
engineered.
it's the
The
reserve,
Premier League are
the
trying
reserve,
to
the
rig
backup.
some stuff, mate. Now we don't know about
It's-
because of some
That's mad.
dodgy decisions across the board.
I felt for Newcastle.
yeah. So Wolves as well getting their first win again. Southampton, Jekyll and Hyde.
Hmm
Yeah, getting their first win just before the playoffs. Great. Get some confidence.
Bro, they've been playing
Get some
well. They
confidence
just
for
haven't been
us.
They
converting
have been playing well.
chances.
They, do you know what? I actually feel like that win is finally deserved because
They've just
like
missed a bag
they
of chances, man.
yeah they've missed too many chances and they
Oh.
deserved the performances have deserved for them to win sooner than they have done. So yeah,
Again, Diego Costa just in time, by the sounds of it. He's coming in on a free transfer apparently.
I know.
If he can pass the fitness test.
Imagine they got Raul Jimenez or Diego Costa, just
But they
problem
lost their new
strikers.
striker, innit? With a knee injury.
Who's
which
that?
is a bit I don't even have to say he's
What,
nasty.
Guedes?
No, they bought the striker from Kalajic. They bought Kalajic and he injured his knee.
Oh yeah.
First game.
Flipping
oh
hell.
okay,
Injured his knee first game, which is why they're going for Diego Costa now. So Southampton, they played well. I think it was a quite even game in the end.
It was.
But
Yep.
As you said, Jekyll and Hyde,
it
man.
is, yeah, man.
Jekyll and Hyde. Yep.
Typical
The
hustle.
final game of the weekend. I mean, when it was 2-0, I thought, you know what, Bournemouth are done out here. There's no, and then Billings' goal. Oh my
Bro,
god!
what strike?
Rocket!
What
I
a
think he's got
that
strike.
rocket?
double figures last season in Championship,
Yeah.
so he knows how
He's
to
good.
hit him.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. He's a good player.
Wow! And then the
That-
way
that-
they crumbled.
That just changed the whole game out of nothing because it was. You know, at that point they weren't even in the game.
No, they
They
weren't.
weren't even in the game, and that goal came out of nowhere. And then before you know it, like 2-1, and then I
There was
don't
some
know what
naive
happened to
defending
Forest after
from
that.
McKenna.
Forest. Some naive
McKenna,
defending,
not defending. McKenna headed it to took it from the goalkeeper, and then from the long ball, instead of just launching it, tried to be smart and kick it out to the goalkeeper, and he got it wrong. So you look at it, McKenna's gonna be sitting at the end of that game thinking, "What have I done? I fell in here." And
Still.
just welcome to the Premier League.
It's the collective though. It's you 2-0 up,
Yeah,
and you
bruv.
conceded
Yeah.
3. Like, come on, as a collective,
True.
you got to look at yourselves
But
at
that last
at home.
goal, but I get the collective, but that last goal for me was just one man's fault because it's a long ball. All you got to do is just deal with it. If it's when you're a manager of us, Daryl, if Leon or I had done that in defence, you won't be talking about collective.
Yeah,
You'd be switching on us.
Yeah,
Saying, let's
bruv,
clear the ball.
Well, I'm not talking to you all the way home. To be honest with you, I could even get onto certain man like Lenny, and you know, last 2 minutes of a cup final, and he's playing across our own box.
Man's
like,
calling out, man's
kick it
acting
out.
like that, you
Government name
Yeah,
as well.
bro.
You know?
Can't even protect himself, you know. That's deep,
sure
bro.
I'm sure he'll see this, bro. But he's gonna blame Lawrence anyway, so you know how it goes. Like,
We don't even have the footage
But
to
yeah,
show
no.
people, so you know,
Yeah,
it's out of
boy.
context.
that footage would be nightmare for me.
It was a good performance from Bournemouth in the end, though.
Yeah, no, deserved.
It's credit.
Deserved.
Credit,
Fight.
where it's
Fight.
due.
Do you know what? Always when
lost
you
9-0.
always when you think Bournemouth are down
Yeah.
and they're gonna be done for this season, they've shown character and
Gary O'Neill putting
Yeah.
himself in the job shortlist, mate.
You look
Yeah.
at it, we beat them 9-0. Since 9-0, we both had the same results. Both, I think, one win and a draw.
yeah, it's
You
crazy.
wouldn't have thought,
Look at it like
you wouldn't have thought coming from 9-0 that would happen.
Mm.
So credit to O'Neill. Probably learned it when he was at Liverpool for coaching our youth.
that. So, of course he did.
You would say that.
Of course he did. So, on to the next fixture week. What do we think then?
Well, like I said, we've got Wolves in it, and the Wolves Liverpool games are never easy. We always win by the skin of our teeth. It's never a 3-0 or something comfortable. So again, I'm not expecting anything comfortable. If we win, it will be like a 2-1 or a 1-0, and 1-0 will scare me. So I'm hoping we just get the win. That's all I'm hoping for. But Thiago needs to be back. If Thiago's not back, then we're gonna struggle because they're playing. I think they're actually playing better football than we are in that regard.
Arguably, yeah. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff after the Champions League this week. Is that going to be an issue for you, James?
No, we're home. Cool, we're away in Naples, but it's at Anfield.
It's not a far trip, man.
So,
Naples is not Eastern Europe.
Exactly. We're at Anfield, and hopefully, if Thiago gets a few minutes against Napoli, would he start? Would he risk starting him? I don't know. But if we can get him or Melo involved and actually get control, then I'm just praying for a win. You guys, I'm sure, a bit worried.
Yeah, it's a big match.
Marseille are
Big
doing
match
well
too.
right now as well in the French league, doing really well.
Yeah. So this is the test now, isn't it? This is the test for the squad. This is the test for us.
We made the 5 changes, though, innit? That
did,
probably
yeah.
for the Champions League, innit?
Yeah, but arguably some of those 5 changes, some of the players that came in played better and deserve to possibly start.
And they're probably better suited to Champions League, to European football as well. Somewhat wrongly, I guess.
Yeah, with
and
Perisic back in there, I'm sure, over.
Yep. Yeah, definitely for
over
Europe,
Sessegnon.
definitely. But
then City,
2 undefeated teams.
It's always,
away from home.
It's always a tough one, man, because we do have a decent record against them, but it's City.
Yeah,
at any moment, you can
I wish they had a
beaten
beaten Villa. Yeah, I wish they had a beaten Villa.
You took 6 points last season.
Yeah, true. But like, if they had have beaten Villa, then I might like
There might have been a little bit of
they're not gonna want to.
complacency, but now,
Yeah, they're not gonna want to drop any more points in the Premier League like
Mm.
now. So and
Uh,
potentially depending, it's a game it's a fixture after your fixture, is it not, James?
yeah, you're 5:30, but
Yeah, so if Liverpool win, that's who they're looking at all the
I
time
don't,
whenever they,
I don't
you
think they
know.
really care about us right now. They're
You
probably
reckon?
thinking this. Nah, not right now.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think Pep only really is interested when we're close. Right now, he's looking. I can't see any manager. Pundits are saying it. Like, yeah, Liverpool probably still finish second. It's still up for debate. It's only 5 points, but it's still up for debate. 5 points can be turned around quite quickly. In honesty, we win, you lose. That's 2 points behind
Yeah,
you
it's nothing.
guys.
yeah,
It's gone to show already this season. 1 point. Everyone thought like, what's going on with United? And look where they are now.
yeah,
No
Have,
disrespect to Arsenal. I said 5 points, so not Arsenal are top. So it's not 5 points from the top, obviously, but Man City are going to win the league if not us. So I can't. There's a 5 point difference.
I'm sure
No
you.
one coming for me.
Well, I'm sure you never gave Arsenal any credit in the last video we did either.
Nope,
Like,
nope. But they've done well, so I'll allow them.
yeah,
So okay, cool. So you're gonna hopefully get something out of the game.
fingers crossed.
Hopefully we're gonna win, and then we'll discuss it probably next Monday. Monday's the last game, so we'll probably convene again next week Monday,
cool.
Yep.
and hopefully we'll both be on sitting there happy with 2 wins.
Hopefully, fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
So what are you right now? Semi happy then, because
No,
you're not as down as you was, but you're not as confident as you was last week after the 2 wins.
listen, my Thiago's back. It
He's
should
not.
be
He's not.
training. It should be
He's not.
training today. If he doesn't pick up another knock, then it helps us. I just want to see against Napoli. I want to see both Thiago and Melo get some time on the pitch, and for Melo to actually have a good game, show his ability, and then I'll be even happier. But Man City didn't win. So that's the only reason why I know some people will tell me we're not battling Liverpool, not battling Man City. Let's be real. Where you guys are stinking out the place, you're not battling Man City. But I gotta have hope that we clawed back almost 14 points last year. That if it clicks, we can win 7 games in a row. If it clicks, we can win 7 games in a row. So that's my hope.
But in your mind, it's still a 2-horse race then, yeah?
Yeah, no one else can win the league apart from Man City. The only team that can challenge them is us. So,
Okay.
and if we don't challenge them, then they're gonna run away with the league.
Well, it's for
That's
someone
the way I see
to
it.
disprove that, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
But it looks like the sun is getting into my eyes and telling me to cut this down.
Yep.
So
On that note, we'll keep it moving.
on that note, guys,
That's God. That's God and the Arsenal
Yeah,
fans.
man, you've been chatting too long, James.
tell me to get out.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're putting pressure on you, saying like, "What are you talking about, James? Give us some respect. We're top of the table." That's what that is.
Boy, cool. All right, guys.
Right.
All right.
I'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Peace out.
Indeed.
Catch you later.
Peace out.